Hello everybody, it's me, TONIK TZW, here in the German Tier 8 destroyer, the Z-46. We call this one Zulu time. For those of you that are ex-military, you will know exactly what that is. But I don't know why they didn't call GMT Alpha time, because A is the first letter of the alphabet, not the last. But I haven't played this ship a lot in a long time because I've been enjoying playing the daring, given that we've had the steel missions. But let's get into my build and you can see how I'm running it. I'm running Eric Bear with Jersey Swirsky and I think it's Den Shi Chang, and this gives me a lot of concealment. It's quite fun to play. You can see there I dropped 4% on my concealment with Bay's base trait, and then switching down we've got Observant Rage to give us reduced main battery reload and increased torpedo detectability, but we do lose a bit of rudder shift. Then we're running Look at Me Now, which drops our detectability range by a further 6%, making us a little bit more stealthy. Then moving down we've got Perceptive, which reduces incoming damage slightly but also allows us to detect torpedoes that little bit earlier. Moving down we've got a Torpedo Royale, which gives us an extra 2 knots of torpedo speed and a little bit extra damage, but it does increase the torpedo detectability. And then I always generally tend to run Unstoppable because I like to have that damage control available, or the damage control party. So we've got Den Shi Chang, which has given us an extra 2.5% torpedo damage and further reducing our detectability by 2.55%. He's at 16.2. Then Jersey Swirsky's at 16.3, which is dropping our concealment by another 3.8%. Now, we've got Islands of Ice, we've got Domination. There's one radar cruiser on each team. There's an Elbing out there which is nasty, and a Friesland which is also nasty but doesn't have torpedoes. And that's something you've got to consider if you do see the Friesland. You can push him. He has got nasty guns, but he hasn't got torpedoes, so you should feel brave about running him down if he's in a smoke, and it's safe to do so, or practical to do so. For destroyer captains out there, he does have a sonar, so if he's in smoke you can guarantee that he's running that sonar at the same time. The Z-46, sorry, not the Z-46, the Elbing is very much like a mini cruiser. It has very long range, very slow torpedoes, but its guns pack a hell of a punch, and he can chew cruisers and destroyer up like they were Haribo. Now I'm out of tea this morning because I've run out of milk, so I'm a little bit parched, but I'll try to talk my way through this one. Now, for some reason I always seem to get B cap, and I think Wargaming have actually got it in for me, because it seems to be that 9 times out of 10 I get B cap, and we all know what happens to B cap. They just abandon it and leave it. The 2 battleships that spawned with me, they're in division. It's a Brandenburg and something else. Now they've got great secondaries, and I was thinking if they stick around, then I can push whatever destroyer is on this cap, and their secondaries can do most of the work. Now I ran my sonar coming into the cap because chances are, you know, if it's a torpedo boat coming through, then especially with that Elbing, they are slow, but long range he could fire those through the cap and catch me unawares. I can see roughly where the destroyer is using Perceptive, but I'm also looking at the minimap to see what's going on elsewhere, and I noticed that although the DD is contesting A cap, he's not really doing much else. But I'm not just going to sit here contesting this. I decide that if we're going to take an advantage, then we need to do something about it. I've only got around 30 seconds left on the sonar, so I need to make best use of it. Now I haven't seen torpedoes, so I'm quite certain that I've got the Friesland out here and that he's going to be tucked behind that island, so I'm going to try and pick him up in the last remaining seconds of this sonar, but also try and use this island for cover. Now remember, the Friesland does have sonar too, and there he is, right behind the rock. Now my sonar's about to run out. He's got his on, so we've got no option here, but we're going to turn out and away and try and use this little rock to give us as much cover as possible as we kite away from that guy, because he's not going to be able to resist coming out of his cover and getting rid of a destroyer early game. But I pop my smoke because I will eventually drop out of his sonar range. But the good thing is that he is taking fire, and that's really nice to see. But he is chunking me. I'm trying to angle as best as I can. There's a fire on him. The team are focused on that destroyer. That is really brilliant to see. And we pick up the kill with a first blood. So once they knew it was the Friesland, there was no risk of torpedoes there. People seem to be happy to push in, and you know, Brandenburg here has got some awesome secondaries, but he is on fire and burning. So we are going to turn back in and get on the cap. Now, Charlie Cap, it looks like state normal. Ships are hanging back. One's gone in. He's going to get focused and get taken down because Red Team have weighed heavy on Charlie Cap. But we are going to take this center cap. I'm still wary that the Elbing is out there. I'm guessing he's on Alpha Cap. There is a Congress out there. So I kind of don't blame the Fletcher for not particularly pushing the cap, because they did lose a cruiser out there. So it's one cruiser and a destroyer versus an Elbing, a cruiser and a battleship, which is not a good situation to be in. But we'll get onto them a little bit later. The Fletcher decided that he didn't want to contest the cap, and I think he's pulling out to fire torpedoes around. And so my initial thought here is they've got those two across there. What are we going to do? Bismarck's big secondaries, he's behind an island. If he's going to come forward, then those torpedoes might pick him up. There's a Musashi, and I'm thinking, do I go around the back and try and herd these guys through C-cap into the front of the ships that are out there? But it's going to turn into a little bit of a ship show. Yeah, it's not going to end well for them, because there is a Yamato out there. There's a lot of big ships out there. So I'm looking around to see what I can do. Bismarck gets himself spotted again. I'm thinking, okay, if you're going to keep coming backwards, we'll chance our hand and we'll put those torpedoes out there. But he has got sonar. Do we fire our guns? Do we let him know that we're here? No, we're not going to fire our guns, because I imagine the first thing he will do is slam his engines full forward, because he will know that torpedoes are probably on the way. Now, looking at the spread of these torpedoes, I'm sure they used to be more symmetrical on many destroyers, but we take the Bismarck down with a dev strike, so that's fine and dandy. He's out of the way. I'm looking at this Musashi, and then I realise that a Bravo cap is being taken. That can only mean one thing. The Elbing is on the capture point, because there's nothing else that could sneak in behind me like that. The Congress and the Musashi are pushing hard through Alpha Cap now. The Fletcher is actually further away than the cruiser at the moment, so we are going to try and do what we can. We're going to get some cap resets on this and try and put fire onto this Elbing, knowing full well that we are going to be spotted. We don't have smoke available. Our sonar is running. The one thing that I couldn't remember is whether or not the Elbing has sonar, so I had to go and check, and it turns out he doesn't. So I wasn't too afraid to push this guy, because he's only got his front guns onto me. He's backing up through the cap, he's on sonar, and I'm just going to keep popping at this guy. But somebody does want a cheap kill, because there are going to be some shells fly in here. Look at that. Somebody wants a cheap kill and misses, but I'll take that and successfully defend our capture point. Now, Congress is out there now. The Fletcher, I think, is burning him down, and I'm thinking, can I pick myself up a fourth kill here? Because the Fletcher can't get guns on, and he's behind the island, so I'm going to keep wheeling on this guy. I've got a smoke available. All I need is a fire, please. Give me some fire, give me some damage. Perhaps I should have switched to armor piercing here. I'm not quite sure. But we have 2 caps, and the cruiser picks up the kill. Now Mr. Fletcher, who is full health, is feeling very brave in himself in wanting to push in and take the capture point. But I'm more than happy for him to do so, because what it means is we turn the capture point a little bit quicker. We lose the Heinrich on the other side of the map. I think we've got a Petropavlovsk across there. We've got, I think it's a Rhone across here as well. So he's been tanking both the Congress and the Musashi. No, it's a Riga there. A Riga out on the other side who manages to take out one of the ships. And so he's up against the Yamato. And I'm thinking, all you've got to do is ram him, and that is the game won. You just need to charge in and pray that he doesn't get a decent shot on you. And I'm looking at the mini-map, and I'm looking at the timer, and I'm thinking, are we going to get a cap before he rams this guy? But I can't actually see what's going on. Now, we've got this on points, we've got this on caps, we've got it on kills, but there is 1 ship on the other side of the map. There are 3 on this side of the map. I've played Bravo, I've supported Alpha, I've played Bravo, I've supported Charlie, I've come all the way across to Alpha, defending Bravo on the way, and because it's quite a long trip across there, the Riga dies, so we'll just zip through on this bit with a funny little bit of music until we get this guy spotted in a few seconds. And there we go. He is spotted. He's not quite in gun range yet, and I'm looking and I'm thinking, okay, I can pick myself up some more base XP with some cap resets, and I can do some damage. He's either going to come towards me and try and kill me, or he is going to try, in fact, has the Musashi got torpedoes? Try and remember, he knows he's spotted, he's turning around the island, so I'm turning. I'm sure he thinks that the torpedoes are already on the way. There is a quadruple cap reset. Those things are gold in my money, because they are worth a damn fortune in base XP, and I've got a great game to come on the channel where I pick up 20 of those in a single game. But my buddy Shannon McClint, he picked up 27 in one game, which I think beats my record. I think the most I've had is 23. But there we go. We drop visibility of him. We put our torpedoes across there. 1 narrow, 1 widespread. We're going to back out of the smoke. And just as we reach the edge, we're going to go forward on our engines again. So we're automatically ready to move back into this smoke. He's burning. We put another salvo out there. We get straight back into this smoke screen. He's going to try and fire a shot, I think. There we go. He's on HE. He's seen the sense. Everybody is going to want a bit of this kill. Fletcher is firing his torpedoes. I've just soaked 1 load of them. But I am going to steer guns on this guy because I know he's on a reload. Come on, give us a fire, give us the kill. There's the fire. We haven't got the kill yet. Everybody wants a piece of it. That is kill number 4. So we narrowly missed out on a Kraken in that game. But one of the things I forgot to point out was I'm running 4.9 concealment on there, but we get 97,000 damage, the 4 kills. We get a solo cap, a cap assist, and 9 cap resets, which gives us 3,059 base XP. So a very, very nice game indeed, with a very handy destroyer. They haven't all been great, but the majority of them, if we've got a bit of support, we do rather well in it. So not a bad ship to play. So let me know what you think. Have you got the Z-46? Don't forget, smash that like button, leave me a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you love the video, you can tip by hitting the little icon on the bottom corner and leave me a little thank you. Until next time, take care of yourselves and goodbye.